Okay, excellent. We are going to now have a look at some graphic representation of our data, and we're going to use this graphic representation to extend our analysis and interpret what is the density of our steel pipe. So what's of interest now, density is dependent on mass and it's dependent on volume. So we're going to use both quantities and produce a plot, a scatter plot. So highlight both quantities, and what you can do is click and drag one like that, come over here to the other quantity and hold down the control button. Hold down control, then click and drag this, and you get both quantities, both sets of data. So now go insert, scatter. The first one is good, only markers is what we're interested in. Okay, there they are. Interesting. So we can see we've got a bit of a value there. It's a bit of an outlier. So these outliers can suggest that that data point is not really valid. So that needs to be considered before we proceed with analysis. So let's now get this in a position by itself. Go to move, right click on it, go to move chart, and put it on a new sheet or by itself. Excellent. From here, let's start to organize some of the graph. So layout or data, no, layout, design, no, layout. So under layout here you've got a number of things: chart title, axis titles, data labels. So we're interested in chart title. Okay, we're going to put this maybe in the center. Alright, so what's going to be a good descriptive title? We're not going to say things like mass versus volume, okay, because that's quite vague. We need to be a little bit more descriptive about what we're looking at. So we can say the mass and volume of a copper pipe, or is it steel? Okay. Alright. Now, axis titles are important. So, horizontal, quantity horizontal, we have, we need to have that being volume along the horizontal. But at the moment, these quantities here are our mass, and these quantities here are our volume. So we need to have to switch the axis, and that's manageable, but let's just put the title in. This needs to be a volume of, and just volume is sufficient, and make sure you put the units in, cubic meters. Alright, let's do vertical axis. This is going to be the mass in kilograms. Okay, good. Now let's swap our series data. We want the mass along here, and we want the volume quantities along here. So to do that, if we go to design and we go select data. Okay, so if we go chart range, edit, and in edit we get to select what are our X values and what's going to be our Y values. Okay, so our X values are volume, So we have to make sure that the volume quantities are selected for that. There we go. And our Y values, series Y values, that's our mass. So we have to click that, come over here, select our mass values. Okay. Hit OK. There they are. Alright. So you can see the issue of this data point way over here. It does not seem to fit the rest of the data. So that's a little concern. Let's have a look at that point. That is this last one, because it's the most largest mass with the longest length of the pipe. So checking the rule, we have length times thickness multiplied by diameter. Yeah. Subtract thickness. Okay. So it is properly calculated, but it is very much an outlier in our data series. So sometimes these outliers need to be removed. So I'm going to grab this one and hit delete. Let's have a look at the series now. Okay, much better.